A city messed up and named a street Chuck Norris, but after a few deaths, they had to change it because no one crosses Chuck Norris and lives. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, let's talk about JOCASTA new and her prep because she's in a weird place. A lot of people are gonna unlock her this day, and it's gonna get crazy. So, real quick, thanks to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, guys. And guys, please mount the algorithm. It would mean the world to me. Let's move into it, shall we, folks? So. This isn't the right slide, is it? Wow, there we go. Whoa, we're in the slideshow madness. So we don't know much about JOCASTA's next team. Reading her kit doesn't really give us that much. We know that it's all going to be Jedi Vanguard. We do know that Mace Windu will be the legendary character as the leader. This is taken from one of the posts that CG gave us a while ago. So it looks like we're going to get Deepa Balaba, and JTG looks, I'm guessing it's gonna be Jedi Temple Guard, though who really knows for sure. But that's what we know. We know that so we don't know what those characters do at all. We have no idea. We know one of them flies out the window. The final character will be from the current list of Jedi Vanguard, and honestly, I say it's total crap. There's actually a couple decent characters in there. Ayla Secura is okay. Shaak Ti's actually pretty good. Kelleran Beck, in the right context, is very strong, and the rest of them are just total crap. So, although Elf Jedi is interesting, just because she's Elf Jedi, and so it does look like I don't think we're gonna use JOCASTA new in 5s. Honestly, it doesn't look like it. I could be wrong. Obviously, this is all speculation. No one's actually used her in the game itself, but it does look like she's gonna be useful in 3v3. So we'll talk about that. The first question I get, of course, every time is how are we gonna mod her? And so, of course, this is all without information based off of the kits from the new characters, right? Like there's 3 characters that'll be released that we don't know how they're going to do anything. We don't know what their main mechanics are. We do know that what her kit is, and it seems like she's kind of in a way a little bit self-sufficient. Like she'll work with these other guys, but it seems like she's gonna kind of power herself a little bit. And so I think that we know basically how she's going to be modded, though it may require some tweaks. So a lot of the damage that she does is based on her max protection. She has a lot of mechanics that like she'll siphon max protection from people. She does damage based on max protection, and so she's also an attacker, and she does damage based on her offense as well. So she's doing damage based on her max protection and on her offense, so give her protection as primary. I think it looks like that's going to be the case. I'm not totally sure if that's going to end up being like, it's just hard to say how much damage is she going to do if she has a ton of offense as opposed to a ton of protection. It seems to me that protection is the easiest thing to boost on her, and she can get a lot of protection. Even though she has more base health for some reason, I think giving her lots of protection seems, at least on the surface, like that's going to be really strong. And at the very least, we're going to be putting a lot of protection on her secondaries to help boost her damage. But for now, I think it's a safe bet. Giving her an offense set isn't a bad idea, and then she does do a decent amount of debuffs. I wouldn't protest too hard if you wanted to give her a different second set, but I think a protection or a potency set is fine. I don't think you need to focus too hard on the potency aspect of her kit, but it does seem like that's going to be a factor. In terms of relic levels, we don't really know how much damage she's going to end up doing. So at first glances, she seems like she's going to do a lot. I mean, rifle that's powered by a lightsaber seems like it should do a lot, but she seems pretty good in GAC, at least based off of all of the kit that I've read. It seems like a lot of the damage that she'll do is wrapped up in her GAC Omicrons, so my guess is that we'll need a different character, whether it's Mace or Deepa or whoever, that's going to make this team really strong in TW, if indeed it is strong in TW. But and as far as relic levels go, I just wouldn't go too crazy, folks. I think giving her Relic 9 sounds cool at first. I mean, Relic 9 sounds great for everything. And honestly, guys, if you wanted to take some advice from me, I'd get off my hindquarters, if I were you, and go Relic 9, your entire roster. You're welcome. So, anyways, I don't do it just because I liked the challenge. But otherwise, it seems cool to put Relic 9 on her because she does get plus 6,000 protection, right? That sounds cool. And that would be nice, especially for the really top level accounts. That might end up being something that a lot of people end up doing, but I wouldn't really recommend that. She's an attacker, and I mean, I know that not everyone can even afford Relic 8, and I'm not saying you have to, but I think 8 is a great place to stop before you jump into Relic 9. As an attacker, she's going to get a nice boost going from 7 to 8, because that's the biggest difference in terms of relic levels and the boost that you get from offense. So I think that that's a great place to stop. Just go from 7 to 8, stop at 8, and call it good. And then if you really want that extra protection, because remember, I've already told you a million times, we don't know how much damage that extra protection is going to be. Like, we're hoping, it's looking like a lot of that damage from her is going to be from protection, but we don't know for sure. So it's good to just keep an eye out. And if you go into Relic, if you get Relic 9 on her, and then it turns out protection doesn't actually do that much damage, just like Starkiller, everyone put Relic 9 on him to give him a ton of extra health so that his Star Destroyer would do more damage. And now they're like, well, that didn't actually end up mattering that much. Like, the offense stat on Starkiller mattered. So stopping at 8 is prudent, in my opinion. And, okay, so as far as Omicron Priority, I think she can still use... So first off, you can't use any of the Omicrons if you don't have a team that is only Jedi Vanguard. It has to all be Jedi Vanguard, or all of this is totally worthless, okay? But if you do have Jedi Vanguard, it looks like Jedi Archivist is going to be the best. That means that when your teammates take turns in GAC, of course, when they actually do use an ability, so that's even just like hitting back, which if you're using the team that I suggest, you're probably going to have a lot of retribution and hitting back and stuff. Every time you do that, then you reduce her big special, which transforms her into the killing machine that we all know JOCASTA knew to be. So this one seems like the strongest and the most central to her requirements to actually be able to take people down. Like, she'll eventually get it in other game modes, but in GAC it seems like she's going to turn into a killing machine way earlier based off of this Jedi Archivist thing. This Should Be Quiet is her special, and it seems like it's going to do a lot of damage. It says it reduces people's max health to 65, which I don't know if that's literally just... it reduces it to the number 65. It just seems like a really random number, or if it means something else. Like, 65 is nothing compared to the crazy numbers we're getting these days. So this one looks decent, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But it seems like it's going to come after Jedi Archivist actually gets triggered. And then the basic Omicron, it kind of looks weak, actually. It's one that I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever apply that. It's every time you do a basic, you hand everyone else your debuffs, or you hand everyone else the debuffs that was on the guy. You give all your something. It's kind of weak. Go read it yourself, folks. I'm not sure if I'm gonna want it or not. but that's kind of nice to have a weaker one, in my opinion. And maybe we'll want it, but right now that's by far the least of my concerns for her. So in terms of mechanics and just how she works, just stuff, if you're like me, reading some of these kits can be such a pain. I spent a long time reading this kit, and just some things that maybe you've missed. First off, and this is, I've already talked about how she turns into a killing machine. She has two different forms. One of them is the awesome docile librarian, and the other one is the gun lightsaber psychopath killing machine. And so eventually she'll turn into the second version, and so that's what happens. That's pretty neat, I guess. So if you hadn't read her kit, if you kind of missed it, then that's your goal with her, like within the greater scheme of like one battle with her. She just wants to hurry up and turn into Killing Machine JOCASTA. And once she does, all of her ability names change, by the way, so that's not confusing at all. But she also starts doing a lot of damage, so she just wants to race to that version of herself. That's all. Killing Machine JOCASTA is a go. And okay, so otherwise, she also insists on hanging out with her friends, the Jedi Vanguard, which I've already alluded to a little bit, but just a couple examples. There's probably even more if I really wanted to dig, but I didn't want to dig. So a lot of her stuff just doesn't work at all unless she's with Jedi Vanguard. So the people who really wanted to use her with like Qui-Gon Jinn, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, maybe she still does some damage. I don't really know, but she's not going to turn into Killing Machine JOCASTA. She'll just stay docile librarian JOCASTA forever. It's only when she's with her friends that her true animal self is revealed. So she feels like she can be herself. She can let her hair down, proverbially, we hope. And so the team that I was thinking I'm going to try in threes is with Kelleran Beck and Shaak Ti, because Kelleran Beck and Shaak Ti, Kelleran Beck hits a back a lot. Like he counters quite a bit. So does Shaak Ti. Shaak Ti also takes a ton of turns based off of damage that her friends and allies take. She dispels things. She does cool stuff. And possibly most important, Kelleran Beck also gives a huge amount of max protection. He just hands it out to all of his friends as long as he's the lead. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm probably going to apply the first two Omicrons that I suggested, and use the modding that I showed you guys. That was actually a screenshot of the mods that I'm going to be using. They're hanging out on Ewok Scout. And we'll see how she does in 3v3. So anyways, I'm going to call it good here, folks. What are things that you're looking forward to with JOCASTA? What things did I potentially miss? Her kit is massive and it's kind of confusing, and it's possible I missed something. So I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.